Hey guys, Bobby Hughes here with Heritage Pride Homestead, and back to bring you guys a video here on the homestead about chickens. And I've had a bunch of questions about and comments on the chicken water storage tank. You can barely see it kind of right in the background there. And all summer, man, this chicken water storage tank has been awesome. With 30 chickens and the duck, I was running 2 dripper systems and filling it up about once every 2 weeks. So it holds 35 gallons. Filling it up about once every 2 weeks, and man, it was so awesome not to have to water the chickens every single day or even every few days with the original dripper system that we built. If you haven't seen the dripper systems, or you want to see how to build a dripper system, or even the water storage tank, you can check the suggested videos up here, and I'll put the link there for you so you can go back and watch that. This isn't a how-to video really on the dripper system. It's just an update video. So that tank was awesome. One problem: I blew the side out in it. I left the water hose hooked up to it and was pumping rainwater up into it, and I guess that little pump had more power than I thought it did, and it was putting so much water in there so quick that the pressure relief valve on the top wasn't substantial enough, and it blew the seam out in the side of it. So needless to say, now I have a 15-gallon water tank. So anyway, there's been a bunch of questions, comments, and things on there about what am I going to do this winter? What was my plan for this winter as far as keeping it from freezing? And I joked around and said I was going to put moonshine in it, or something. And anyway, it would take a substantial amount of moonshine, and I don't know that those eggs would be very good. So anyway, that's not really an option. So I started brainstorming, what could I do for the winter to winterize it, but still have the convenience of only having to water them once every 2 weeks or so. And that's what I was really struggling with. What was I going to do? So I started thinking, and I thought old timer. When we lived in Wisconsin, and this is a trick for old timers, when we lived in Wisconsin, we were on a well, and it got blistering cold up there. And our well house wasn't very well insulated, and it wasn't our well house to insulate. It was the landlord. So I wasn't going to sink a bunch of money into it. And since we didn't have a water bill, it was no big deal. So in the winter, when it was going to get really cold overnight, or if it was going to be just blistering cold and we were going to be gone all day, we would leave the kitchen faucet just on a real steady drip. Just drip, drip, drip. And that would move the water enough in the pipes and keep everything flowing just enough that it wouldn't freeze. Even in sub-zero weather, it wouldn't freeze just with a little drip. Just keeping that water moving enough would keep it from freezing. So I started thinking about that concept, and I thought, well, if I could keep that water moving, I could keep it from freezing. So now I've got the idea and I've got the motivation because, well, my water tank blew out. So I had to come up with another idea. So that water tank, those things are fairly expensive. I got it on clearance or on sale or something, and so I got a pretty good deal on that 35-gallon poly tank. But they're $100 normally if you go to Tractor Supply and buy one. And so after I blew that seam out, I was like, man, I'm not going to spend another $100. So saving some money, doing some research, and doing some shopping around, I have come up with this idea, and it's already together except for the top. And I wanted to show you guys before I got the top on so that you could see all the workings on it. But we've built a self-contained recirculating water storage chicken waterer for the winter. And I mean, you could use it year-round, but there's no need to circulate the water year-round. So anyway, let me show you what I've done, and that way you guys can see. So hang on a second. Alright, so here's the unit. It's basically just a frame. I had just a piece of 2x6 that I attached between the uprights of this fencing panel for our run here, and I just moved it up a little bit to get it a little bit higher, and that's what I built my frame off of. And I basically just built a 2x6 frame with a couple of legs on it. See, it's just a 2x6 frame with a couple of legs, a couple of 4x4 posts. I dug out a little bit on the ground and set some cap block in there, just a standard 4x8x16 cap block, solid cap block. And then as far as the landscape goes, I've been meaning to do something different in here to try to keep it from getting so soupy and nasty in here. So I had a few of these little edgers left over from doing the walkway to the greenhouse and some of this rock. So I just made a little, kind of just a little area here just with rock, hoping that, you know, the water and stuff, it wouldn't get so mucky around the watering area here. And I think it's going to be okay as long as they don't crap like crazy right here near the watering area. So I think we'll be okay though. So anyway, that's the frame. Then the upper part of the frame, I just used 2x4s, framed it in like a box, wrapped the whole thing in cedar. These are just some cheap cedar fencing planks that you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever. And then I took some 3 value foam insulation panels, same things I was using in the greenhouse, and cut them to fit in the spaces there. And then there's also one down here on the bottom. So I put a layer of OSB on top of the frame, on top of the 2x6 frame, and then I built my 2x4 frame on top of that and just toenailed screwed it down into it. Then I laid a piece of foam down inside of that frame and put me a couple of 2x4s across there to hold the barrel to keep it from rolling around. On the, you're not going to be able to see it, I don't think, but I've got the bung holes on the barrel vertical. So the bottom one, if you don't know this, your bottom, or one of your bung holes or bung hole lids, or the bung hole itself, I don't know, the bung, it'll have a knockout in it for a 3/4 inch fitting. So it's got a 3/4 inch fitting threaded in there, and then it just pokes out right here. And then the top one, your actual bung hole, should be threaded for 2 inch. And then I just put a 2 inch male connector in there, and that's our vent. To keep from getting a vapor lock inside the system, to put a vent on it. And I went ahead and spent like 10 bucks and got one of these Sure vents. We use these in the construction, for plumbing, in kitchen islands and things like that, where you don't have access to an actual vent for your plumbing. So anyway, this is cool because it keeps the normally it keeps the gas out. It lets air in, but it will keep gas from coming out. So it'll let it breathe, but it should keep most of the bugs and stuff out of there too, which would be awesome. So I stuck it on there. Everything in homesteading is experimental. So we're experimenting to see if it'll keep the bugs out. So anyway, that's our vent. This is our supply line, and then it just comes down and adapts to a 1.5 inch pipe here. And I just made a new little dripper system. I think I put 5 drippers on it. 5 drippers should be sufficient. We've got 17 chickens now. 17 new chickens coming in here. That should be sufficient. Most of the first one that we built, we put way too many drippers on that thing. There was like 15 on there. And there was just no point in it. I thought, you know, with the marching order and everything else, that allows all of them to drink at one time. But it's not like they're going to run out of water. So, you know, they can take turns. Anyway, so it goes from 3/4 to 1.5 inch. You've got your drippers down through there. Any of you guys that are thinking about building a dripper system for chickens, keep in mind, your drippers are going to drip a little bit even without hitting them. Not always, and not all of them, and it's not even really that much water, but you'll get a little bit of a drip that just kind of, you know, shows up. And that's just common, especially if you have a gravity fed system where there's any kind of pressure on it. It's going to force it to drip just a little bit. There's no rubber seal or anything in there. It's just stainless steel, so you're going to get a little bit of water leakage there, but you know, it's not enough to really hurt you or anything like, or hurt anything. Just be aware that you'll never get them to stop. So anyway, so that's the dripper manifold. It's 1.5 inches all the way down. So then we'll come around on this side, and you can see here the 1.5 inch pokes out there, and that's just a clean out. So we can drain the system there, or we can flush the system out, clean it out real good if we need to. And the cool thing about it is I can take that vent cap off over there and then flush the system with water, take this cap off, and just, you know, flush everything out if I need to. So no biggie. Now inside here, this is the magic. So underneath there's a T down there. It's an 1.5 inch to 3/4 inch T, and then I put a 1/2 inch adapter on it and brought it up 1/2 inch PVC into a female connector, and then switched over to a barb fitting. I found this little pump here on eBay, I think, and it was about 30 bucks. It's the most expensive thing in this whole build. This is a little, I think it's a 200 gallon an hour, 218 gallon an hour inline circulation pump or booster pump. It's 110 volts, and it will suck, so it'll pull or push, which is awesome for this application because I didn't have room on the other end to put it in line that way. So basically what it's doing is it's pulling the water through the system. Now, it really doesn't have to pull much because the water is naturally gravity feeding and filling the dripper tube. So, and by, you know, just the sheer height of everything, or the layout of everything, the water level fills up, you know, as the barrel fills up. So, but even if the barrel's empty, in theory it should still work because it's a pull pump. And then it just goes up, adapts into it's 1/2 inch to 3/4, turns the corner, goes into a T, and then back down through a uni-seal into the top. And so basically what it's doing is it's just pulling the water from the other end through the dripper manifold, and then back up, and then across through here, and then back into the system. So what it's doing is it's constantly cycling the water through the system in a loop, so that water's constantly moving. Now, how do you refill this system? Well, if you come off this T, we hit a check valve right here, and that's to keep our water from pumping through the pump and then turning this corner and then going out through our refill. So we put a check valve in, and then it comes out the front, and then it's going to come up, and once I get this old system out of here, we'll run us a piece of 3/4 pipe over and tie into and put our quick connect from outside of the run, so that way we don't have to come in the run when there's chicken poop and mud and snow and everything else in here. You just drag your water hose over from either your water spigot, or in our case from our rain catchment system, and hook it up and just pump it full. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. It's just a little, you know, enclosed system. Oh, the storage tank. So I told you about the poly tank that's 100 bucks at Tractor Supply. How about a 30-gallon poly barrel for $10? Worked out perfect. I mean, I'm sure you caught on that it was a barrel before. It's not a 55-gallon. I know it's hard to tell in videos or whatever, but for scale. But this is actually a 30-gallon, the same size we used for the grow beds for the aquaponics system. So anyway, yeah, 30-gallon poly barrel, food grade. Cleaned it out, had molasses or something in it. It smelled real good. So cleaned that out and then put it all together. Right now on the chicken coop, I've got a hard roof over about half of the watering system, and then I've just got like a slatted roof with no actual protection from weather over that part, and I just built that to put the water tank on. For now, I am going to put I've got this all insulated, and for now I'm just going to take some polycarbonate and just put some polycarbonate on top of here. I'm not even going to put it at an angle. I'm just going to put it flat right now. And then on my list of things to do before winter is to finish covering this entire run with roofing. So at that point, I will take the polycarbonate back off, because we've still got a couple months of decent weather before it gets real cold. So I'll take that polycarbonate back off and then just put some cedar boards across here. I was actually thinking I might, actually I probably will, I'll just put a hinged roof on it, so that way I can open it up to access stuff if I need to. and that'll be smart actually to do that. So anyway, I'll just put a hinged roof on it that I can fold back, and it'll just be flat, nothing, you know, nothing on a pitch or anything, not necessary for this, because we'll have a roof over the entire run. So it'll be protected. The foam insulation panels, they don't have a lot of R value or insulation value, but they do have enough to break wind, and that's what we really are trying to accommodate for. It's not the actual ambient temperature that is so bitter. It's the wind that cuts through everything, and it just chills it off so fast. That's just, you know, what it does. So the ambient temperature I'm not so much worried about. Yeah, water will freeze at 32 degrees, but it could feel like below 32 degrees even if it's not 32 degrees because of the wind. So that, in theory, is my idea for the foam insulation panels, is to just break the wind basically and keep some of the wind from blowing through and chilling everything. But I think this will probably hold up. Now what I'm going to do, I don't plan on running that pump 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, especially not right now. But here in East Tennessee, it's not necessarily below 32 degrees all the time during the winter. And it's not necessary to run that pump constantly. So what I'll be doing is the same thing I do in the chicken coop. I have a little thermal block. It's like a three-way plug, and you just plug it into your outlet and then plug in your heat lamp, or in this case our circulation pump, and when the ambient temperature is 32 degrees it'll kick on, and then when it gets back up to 40 degrees or 44 degrees or something, it'll kick off. And so that way our pump is not running 24/7. It's just running when it's needed. Sorry about that. Dang mosquito landed on my arm and he had to die a horrible death. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. So made for a neat looking little thing. Like I said, I think it's going to work out pretty good. I may actually get some like foam pipe insulation or something and wrap around that. Originally, it wasn't part of the plan for it to come out the side like that. I was just going to go straight down through the bottom into the dripper. But I kind of ran out of room inside. I needed the extra room to put the pump in the back. So that's what we did. Alright guys, so that's it for this video. I just wanted to show you guys what I was planning to do, or what we're going to try this winter for the chicken water system. So like I said before, homesteading is nothing but a big giant experiment. I don't have controls. So you know, when you do experiments you have controls and things that you use, scientific data and all this other stuff. I don't have all that. I have to perform the experiments. Sometimes they cost, sometimes they don't work out right, but in this case I think it's going to work just fine. But this is how I'm going to combat my water storage tank from freezing this winter. So like I said before in the beginning of the video, if you want to see how to build the dripper systems or the original water tank system or anything like that, click the suggested videos up here, and I'll put the link in there for that. Also, if you're just tuning in to into this video and you don't know who the heck I am or what I'm doing here, click on the little icon right here, and that'll take you back to our channel. You can check out all of our other urban homesteading videos and things like that. Also, check in the description always. In all the videos, check the description. We always put the link to our Facebook and our Instagram in there. And a lot of times I post videos and pictures of things while they're being worked on, even before the videos come out. So when you see a picture, if it interests you, you know to keep on the lookout for a new video. And then also, if you're friends with us on Facebook, whenever we post a new video, we put it on Facebook so that you can get a notification there. So anyway guys, like I said, that's it for this video. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and suggestions in the comment section below. And until next time, get out there, shoot some guns, be safe, and most importantly, have fun. See you guys later.